WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something from Adelphi. Ooh. Their blended malt, which is called the Glenborrodale. It's 11-year-old. It's from 2021, and it's batch number 8. There was a total of 1,404 bottles, 46%. Now, this is Whiskybase number 180269. So, for me, this is a fairly cloudy bottle. I don't know if you can actually see this, but it's cloudy. So, it is 46%. It is non-chilled filtered. It is here a natural color. And so I guess they put a lot of water in here, and it became a little bit cloudy. Who knows? Now, one of the things I don't understand is the pricing policy here of Adelphi. In the UK, Masters of Malt has this for 46 euros. In Germany, the cheapest price, and usually we are cheaper because of taxes, we have a low VAT because of excise taxes, the amount of money we have to pay per liter of alcohol is much lower than the UK. This bottle goes in Germany for 70 euros. Now, 46 pounds turns into not even 55 euros. And so if this is 70, 55, 60, wow, 15 euros more for this bottle in Germany than it sells in the UK. Is that Brexit? Is it the margins of the German retailers? I don't know. Now, this is an interesting thing because this is actually, as I said, it's a blended malt whiskey. So a blended malt Scotch whiskey has 0 grain in here. This is single malt from 3 distilleries. We have Glenrothes, for me a typical orange peel moment, a little bit of that orange marmalade. Then we have Highland Park with that wonderful heather smoke, very light but identifiable, and Bunnahabhain. Now, Bunnahabhain can be smoky and cannot be peated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to the 12-year-old Bunnahabhain. It's been a very long time since I've had a 12-year-old Bunna on the table. I've done my video in German about this once a long, long time ago. I hope I did it. And therefore, since then, I haven't actually done another video about this. So let's just compare these two. Now, the very first thing that I notice is color. Both of these are non-chill filtered, and both of these are natural color. So here we have our Adelphi, and here we have our Bunna. Bunna is much, much darker. 12-year-old, 11-year-old, 40 euros, 70 euros, 46.3, 46. Non-chilled filtered, natural color, natural color. So why would I want to add some Glenrothes and some Highland Park to my Bunna? Mr. Adelphi or the Adelphi team, that's a good question. This is batch 8, which means they've sold batch 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. This is 1,404 bottles, so there is quite a few. They are in many different countries here in Europe, UK, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, France, Norway, just some of the countries I can find bottles at that are available for sale still even today. It arrived in the market about April of 2021, and now we have late August of 2021. So it's been a few months and it's still widely available. Let's see if I can find out why. On the nose. Okay. I get a very, very, very slight whiff, a very faint hue of that Highland Park peatedness. I do get a little bit of that orange peel, and I'm not sure if I can identify the typical Bunnahabhain. So going over to the Bunnahabhain 12. Oh, that's interesting. That's got a lot of a wood moment. There's a fragrance of sherry plus the vanilla of the ex-bourbon casks. Well done. I really like this nose. Now, the problem is I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. The nose is better than the palate here. On the Bunna 12, that's been that way for quite a few years now. The old Bunnas that were not in these beautiful, nice, stylish type of cans here, tins, they were better. Bunna has gone downhill, in my opinion, and in the opinion of, I would say, about 20 of my closest friends that like whiskey. it's not as good as it used to be. We've actually done bottle shares from bottles that were from 2010, 2012, and compared it to anything today, and the old always wins. Is it old bottle effect? Don't think so. Did they have better casks back then and they weren't producing at such a high rate? I think that's more the problem. I really do think that Buna has become a victim of its own success in some cases. All right, Adelphi. Adelphi only accepts 4% of all the casks that are offered to them. The rest they pass along. They're very, very selective, and they have their new. Yeah, and Adelphi really have their own new distillery, Artnemochen, and with their blockchain technology. Very, very interesting. I still have the feeling blockchain only works if you really do put all the information as soon as you start vatting together different batches. You can't have blockchain on a single individual bottle. That's something we'll have to work on a little bit here. What they always do with Atnemochen is they take some unpeated and some peated together. Very interesting, good concept. I'm looking forward to more of their bottles in the future. All right, going back to our somewhat cloudy here, batch 8 of our Glenborrodale. Cheers. Wow. This thing has some heat. It is 11 years old, but it burns. It's not me. I take the 12-year-old, and it just, wow. I have no idea what cask they used here. I'm going to actually try to dilute this down to 40% and see what happens here. I did not do that in my German video. I just put a few drops and just wanted to see what happened there. But then I add a little bit more water, 40%, more or less. Let's see what happens because that heat really distracted from the tasting quality. Am I very susceptible to a lot of alcohol heat? Yes. But the 12-year-old over here from Buna is wonderfully smooth. Sometimes when peated whiskey gets very diluted and there's only a little bit, sometimes that peat can turn into a little bit of the stinky feet moment. It's not there yet, but I'm sure some people could have that here. Cheers. Mm. Mm. I still get quite a lot of heat pushing through here. It does have a very nice finish. The Glenrothes, for me, typical orange marmalade, orange peel is there. The Highland Park heather moment is there. The Bunnahabhain niceness, saltiness is there. It's a very, very nice finish. If it were not for the burn, this could actually be a C+. But with that burn that this originally gave it to me, with the 46%, only when I dilute it down to 40 that I can go, all right, it's actually, I was going to say edible. It's actually something I can enjoy in my glass. I'm going to say C-. Value for money, 70 euros, 11 years old, 46%, non-chilled filtered, no color added, a little cloudy and so on. A vatted or a blended malt Scotch whiskey, D+. It really doesn't connect with me. I would much rather have the Buna 12 with 46%, 46.3%, 12 years old than this creation over here. All right, so let's take a look at the Buna 12 real quick. Oh, cleanse my palates. Mm. Mm. A much more pleasant experience. I love the nose. I like the taste. There's a tiny, tiny little of like Play-Doh plasticine moment at the end, which is not great. There's definitely a sherry influence here. There's a nice vanilla. There's a little bit of sea saltiness in here without going to seaweed. Well done, well done. The older ones were actually much better. My personal tip of the day, do not actually spend all that money to go up to Buna 12. Not really worth the money. If you're going to go for Buna, I would actually take a look for some independent bottling out there. Some of those are fantastic, but you always have to ask yourself, is it going to be peated or is it going to be a non-peated whiskey? Because often they don't write on the label, which is a pet peeve of mine to say, just don't like that. And there's a tiny, 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 a little tiny bit of peated smokiness in the background here for me as well. All right, thank you very much for watching. I'm not a big fan of the Glenborrodale at the moment, at least. The batch 8, 11 years old from 2021. One of 1,404 bottles at 46% and 70 euros in Germany, over in UK, starting at a price of £46. Yay! Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, tell others. All the best. There'll be a few Adelphi bottlings coming up in the next couple of days. Bye-bye.